Hi guys, welcome to Everything Arsenal. So over the last couple of days, I've been putting some polls in the community tab, asking you guys for your predictions ahead of the season. So we will be going through that today. I'm calling it the fans' predictions. According to you guys, I'll be reading some of the best comments from the polls, and we will be going through which player you guys think will be the top scorer, which player will have the most assists, which signing will have the biggest impact in the team, who will be our player of the season, and also the final league position according to you guys. So reading the comments as well. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. So the first question was, who will be Arsenal's top scorer this season? 1,700 of you voted. I appreciate you guys always getting involved. And Bukayo Saka got 6%, Edin Kete got 2%, Gabriel Jesus got a staggering 89%, and another player was the other option, which was 3%. I don't think over the time, all the polls I've put in this YouTube channel, I don't think there's anyone that has ever got more than 60% in a poll, or maybe the highest was something like 70. Gabriel Jesus, 89% of you expect Gabriel Jesus to be the top scorer. 89% of you. Like, that is crazy. That's a lot of people. Now, that is not the only place he's breaking records, by the way. In Fantasy Premier League, he's currently owned by more than 70%, and that's the highest any player has ever been owned at any time of FPL ever. That is crazy. Like, a lot of people are believing in him, including Arsenal fans. That is why 89% of you have said he's going to have a good season. Let me know in this comment section, how many goals do you think he's going to score? Personally, I am thinking he's going to get 20 plus goals in the Premier League, and maybe 25 in all competitions, which would be a good return. Bukayo Saka got the second highest votes, which only 6%. No, not as high as last season. Last season, he was very good in terms of scoring goals and assisting. He was our go-to guy. But this season, it seems like focus has turned to Gabriel Jesus. And that can only help Bukayo Saka. It doesn't have to we don't have to depend on him, but we still know his qualities. He is our penalty taker. So you can't expect him to get involved a lot as well. So that was the first poll. Gabriel Jesus winning by very far. Those 3% of you that expected any other player to be the top scorer, so maybe Odegaard, Smith Rowe, all those other guys, Martinelli, and 2% of you said Edin Kete, who I think is going to have more than 10 goals as well this season, which would be a decent return. So next up, let's go to the second poll. Thank you for all the guys who voted, but before I forget, let's read some of the best comments from that. Steve said, I think Saka will turn into a 20 goal per season player this season. Everything about him, he's fine-tuned. Last year, he did 19 goal involvements. I think he can do 30 this year. That is crazy. Another one said, Tom said, after Saturday, Gabriel Jesus, the bloke is super sharp. Even in the warm-up, it just looks effortless. So a lot of you are believing in Gabriel Jesus, which is very, very good to see. Next up, let's go to the most assists. The second poll is the most assists. And for that one, I included a couple of another 1.7k votes on that one. I appreciate it. Who will provide the most assists? I went for Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Odegaard, or any other player if you feel like it's going to be anyone else. And this was a bit closer. In terms of results. Martin Odegaard got 56%. So most of you are expecting Martin Odegaard to have the most assists this season. 56%. I mean, the likes of Gabriel Jesus running in behind, Edin Kete running in behind, the likes of Saka and Martinelli, he already has good relationship with them. We can see that you can definitely see him getting assists. But for me, I feel like Odegaard is the kind of guy to get the assist before the assist. Like, he's the one who's going to be opening the gaps and passing the ball to Saka, and then Saka ends up getting the assist for Jesus, or Odegaard some flicks and some tricks in midfield, gets past two players, and then whips a very, very good long ball to Cedric, and then Cedric crosses the ball and gets the assist. But he'll definitely have a good season. We've already seen him scoring and assisting in preseason so far. Really, really good to see. So 56% of you are expecting Odegaard to have the most assists. 21% of you are going for Gabriel Martinelli, which is very interesting as well. As he's picked up a lot of assists so far in preseason. Odegaard's goal against Chelsea, He assisted, I think it was Gabriel Jesus against Sevilla. He's been looking very sharp. I think he'll definitely start against Crystal Palace. So 21% of you are expecting him to come second in terms of assists. Bukayo Saka is third on this one as well. I can see him getting a lot of opportunities to pass the ball and everything. And also in terms of other players, 4% of you are going for the other players, maybe a defender, Zinchenko or a Xhaka or a Smith or a Gabriel Jesus can actually end up having the most assists. So that was the third. That was the third poll. And in terms of what you guys had to say in the comments section, I'm just going to find it right now. Let's see, just find the best comments. Dong says Martinelli distribution has been so good during preseason. Definitely agree with that. And Alex says the midfield god himself will have the most assists. That is Odegaard. And as Arsenal FC says, it could be Fabio Vieira or Zinchenko. Very interesting. Let's not forget about Fabio Vieira. He's part of our team. Mikel Arteta actually said three of those four players who are injured could be back for the Crystal Palace game. I've already done a press conference reaction. The link will be in the description. Let's go to the third. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. The third prediction, which is which signing will have the biggest impact. Like when I was putting this out, I already knew the answer, but I wanted to see how convincing it would be. 1.8k of you voted on this one, and surprise, surprise, 76% voted for Gabriel Jesus to have the biggest impact of any new signing. Now, when I did the season predictions with Babs, the link will also be in the description for that one. I mentioned to him that last season, remember, it was a bit tight. Like we had Tavares, we had Lokonga, Ramsdale, Odegaard. It wasn't really that easy to predict who was going to have the biggest impact. It could have been Tavares, it could have been Tomiyasu, it could have been Ramsdale. Most of us weren't even expecting anything from Ramsdale and Tomiyasu and all those guys because probably most of you didn't know about them. So it was a bit equal. 20% were expected Lokonga to have a big impact. 25% were expecting Odegaard. This time round, Gabriel Jesus with a staggering 76% of you expecting him to have the biggest impact. I also included William Saliba on that list. I know it's not a new signing, but it's a new arrival, so I should have had biggest new arrival instead of biggest signing. But Saliba is also a new arrival. First season is playing for Arsenal, so 13% of you said Saliba is going to have the biggest impact. So do you think Jesus or Saliba, who's going to have the biggest impact than the other? And then Zinchenko had 4%. He's going to help us in a lot of positions, that's for sure. And Fabio Vieira has 8%, despite not even playing a game for Arsenal yet. That is very, very interesting. So according to you guys' comments about the biggest impact from new arrivals, let's see. Let's see. David says all the new players will impact positively, but Jesus will have the biggest impact. Tag Life says add Gakpo and Tillemans and we'll smash everyone else. And Derek and Aziz also, they all say it's hard to choose. They're going to vote for all of them, which is not possible. Not Focal says it's great, but it's very, very hard to pick. All of them are great additions. Very interesting. Let's go to the fourth topic, which is who will be Arsenal's player of the season? Now, this is tougher. 1.4k of you voted, and I didn't have specific players. I just asked which position will win the player of the season. Is it going to be a goalkeeper, Ramsdale or Tana? Is it going to be a defender, Saliba, any of those guys? A midfielder like Thomas Partey? Is it going to be a forward player like the likes of Jesus? So, in terms of that, 71% of you said Gabriel Jesus. Surprise, surprise, once again. Not Gabriel Jesus, a forward. So either Gabriel Jesus or Nketiah, but I'm pretty sure most of you said a forward because of the man himself, Gabriel Jesus. Many of you clearly expecting a big season from him. Nketiah has looked sharp as well. I don't know if there's any of you who voted for that specifically for Eddie Nketiah, but that was very interesting. Second position was a defender, so maybe a Gabriel or a Ben White or a Saliba or anything like that. 8% tied for a goalkeeper and a midfielder. So in terms of comments, to ask specific players, Odaka says Gabriel Jesus, of course, there is no doubt. Ali says Saka or Thomas Partey. Ray says Partey. Guna 246 says, I think it will be Jesus if he really kicks on, but I think Saliba stands a chance as well. Very interesting. Once again, player of the season. Again, you can also comment down below who you think. And then the big one, League position. Where will Arsenal finish in the league this season? That is another very interesting one. And I had the options as first and second, or third and fourth, or fifth and sixth, or below sixth, seventh, and the rest of the league. So 63% of you said third or fourth, which is understandable. I'd be very happy that season. If you can get third or fourth, I'd be very happy because I feel like we're going to do better in the other competitions as well. 30% of you said first or second. 30% expecting Arsenal to come second or even win the league. Just imagine if that happens. We're talking about finishing in the top four, and then all of a sudden we move from fifth to top of the table. That would be the craziest thing that has ever happened to us, man. Even above the invincible season, I'd say. And then the next one was 6% said fifth or sixth, and then only 1% of you guys are expecting us to finish below sixth, and that is from 1,400 votes. So not many of you expecting us to finish below the top six at all. 1% is maybe a couple of people only. So those were your votes. Thank you very much for always participating. I'll be doing this more in terms of reacting to you guys' comments in the polls just to make it more interesting. Also, from the comments that I forgot to read about, the fifth one was second for Arsenal, Liverpool first, said Peter. Cosmin was not having it. Cosmin asked, how does first and second have 30% of votes? Arsenal fans are the most delusional in the world. I'm not a hater or something. I'm a Madrid fan, and I also like Arsenal as my second team, but first and second is unrealistic, and top four will be, with Jesus in good form, we have a realistic chance of finishing in the top four. So very interesting. And Tactical says 30% think first or second, Liverpool City a level above, everyone a full fit team crossed, and we make top four easy, fingers crossed. Let me know what you think. If you haven't voted yet, you can head over there and vote on YouTube community tab. Very interesting from you guys. Season starts in one day. Cannot wait for it to get started. Thank you for watching. Catch up with you guys on the next one.